Hey, Julissa, welcome back.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. It's going great. It's going great. Awesome, awesome. How's it going? Great, fantastic. It's going great. Just recovering from the last class. That was actually a very fun class. I'm still thinking about cats.
Yeah, it was interesting, funny, and a bit sad.
I know. How it's really sad how desperate people are, right? They would harm animals. They would maybe put animals in danger, right?
Yeah, and the imagination that people have for doing negative things. I mean, if they would use that imagination for something positive, great.
hmm
But
Well, maybe that's a good idea, Julissa, because this class we are going to be talking about something that is really amazing, and people are definitely using their energy for something positive uh, in this class as well, that we'll be talking about. So I don't want to ruin the surprise just yet, but when we talk about Wi-Fi, we talk about internet that is connecting, the whole world. There is a
uh,
new idea of Li-Fi, which is
life.
yeah, and it's going to be very interesting. So that's the name of the class, The Arrival of Li-Fi. And it's a form of Wi-Fi if it becomes appropriate to, um, implement in every part of the world, then we can literally end up with a 100% connected world using the internet. So
Mm,
you know how Wi-Fi sometimes the signal is good, the signal is bad, the connection is weak, the connection is strong, right?
yeah,
Li-Fi will eliminate all of those things. So it's something that scientists are very excited about the future of Li-Fi possibly.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't want to ruin the surprise just yet, but it's
it's
similar to
okay.
Wi-Fi. Yeah, I know. It's similar to Wi-Fi, and it's going to be changing a lot of different things
And
about
the
the world
name, why did they choose life?
because it comes from light.
Okay,
Yeah, so
okay.
light-fi becomes li-fi, right? So we're gonna see about it a little bit. Marcelo,
Okay.
welcome back.
Let me hear again.
Yeah, good, good,
Thank you.
good. Yep, I can hear you, man. No problems. So yeah, we were just talking. Jaleesa and I were just talking about cats, Marcelo.
Ah, the class is about class again?
No, 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 no. We're still talking from the last class. Just still thinking
Uh,
about cats. I don't know.
okay, okay. It's a funny class. It was a funny class. I really liked it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I like to every once in a while. I like to put in a funny class
And
too.
I noticed, I realized that each class we had here in on Colingo, we learn more.
That's awesome,
Each,
though.
just, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's the idea. Sometimes some of the classes are a little bit more, boring because maybe the topic is not as interesting or the articles just are not that interesting. But
Yeah, because you don't know many things about the article. So it's get difficult for us when you don't when you we don't know anything about the article.
hmm absolutely, absolutely. So it's one of those things that yeah, every once in a while we get a good one and we have fun with those articles. But it's good. I was very surprised to see all the kind of attention that these YouTube celebrities are getting. Talking about like um, I'm talking about what we talked about today earlier, Marcelo, with Porta los Fundos, and there's another channel called uh, Parafernalia. Have you heard of Parafernalia?
No, I don't know.
Parafernalia is very funny, very very funny
I will
also.
take a look after.
Yeah, yeah. I can send you one of their videos too because they make fun of society and they do such a good job. You know,
Okay.
they don't use, bad language. They don't use, rude topics. They're just making social commentary, right? Talking about society. So, um, so many similarities. It's awesome. Here, I'm sure you guys have heard about a program called The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, right? Have you guys heard of The Daily Show? It's very, very popular. It happens every night, every weekday night, so at 11 o'clock. So it's starting right now in New York City. There's a guy named Jon Stewart. He's a comedian, and more Americans watch him than they watch the news. then they watch CNN or these other news channels. And he does an extremely good job of taking the news that we have that we watch or that we learn about in our daily lives, what's happening in society, what's happening internationally. He takes all of those news points and he presents them in a very funny way.
The worst thing to watch CNN or BBC, because they just show bad things, So you got down. I really don't like to spend my time watching CNN or BBC or even the programas that you have here in Brazil, no?
Yeah. No, CNN really, I don't like watching it either. I mean, it's really just, I mean, they don't bring news that I find interesting. They find news stories from many different sources, but a lot of it is just hip hop and pop culture and movies and music. I mean, little things like, I don't know, like some story about Kim Kardashian or Paris Hilton or, one of those clowns that, every day they're getting married, getting divorced, getting married again.
Yeah.
Just I don't like that kind of news. I like documentary type news where
Yeah, I like it. Documentary.
yeah. But I mean, they have other channels like that for us too. I guess CNN. It's not really CNN's fault, but so much of the focus is on celebrities. I don't like celebrities. Why is the news about celebrities? The news should be about the world, right? I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. That's what's
But
funny. Yeah,
I
go ahead,
guess
Lisa.
talking about celebrity makes them sell more, to have more people watching them, more rating.
Yeah, it gives them higher ratings, right? Absolutely. For people are going to, I mean, I like fun programs, right? There are a lot of fun programs. Like there are the dancing shows, like Have You Ever Danced, whatever, those other shows, American Idol, singing shows. They're very fun, very, very fun to watch. But when I'm watching the news, yeah, go ahead, Julissa, I'm sorry.
The Voice.
Yeah, The Voice. I've heard of The Voice also, right? Some great programs, right? Fun programs, real talent, right? These young kids, they're performing. They
We
come
have
from
here too in Brazil, the voice.
yeah, it's great stuff. I love those shows. But when I watch the news, I want to really, in 15 minutes, I want to know about the world. I want to know what's happening in Brazil, what's happening in South America, North America, Africa. Also, of course, the United States, but also, I want to get a good picture of the world, right? If there's, yeah, go ahead, Marcelo.
Sorry. What kind of program would you advise us to watch to improve our skills, our English skills?
I would say the best shows that I have seen on the internet come from, or even on channels, right? If you find documentaries from National Geographic, right? National Geographic, they have a really good website. They have a lot of interesting articles, right? Your English will improve just by listening to them, reading the articles. They have beautiful pictures. Okay, they have some of the best photographers in the world. They go to the most amazing scenic places, They'll go to the bottom of a canyon or tops of mountains or the most beautiful places in the world. They'll take amazing pictures, right? So National Geographic is great. TV shows, I honestly don't know really good ones, but I would say if you want to laugh and also hear about the news, then Colbert Report. This guy his name is Stephen Colbert. He's very funny. He's a very funny guy, and he used to be a partner of Jon Stewart, the first guy, right? So The Daily Show with Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert, he does the Colbert Report. So these you can find hundreds of clips maybe on YouTube, right? Very funny people. They make fun of the news, and it's very comic. You can learn a lot of colloquial English. For news, I would say the best channel is definitely, there are two channels. Voice of America. Voice of America is great, right? VOA. They give very, very, very good they have very good news articles, and also NPR, National Public Radio. NPR is my favorite channel for when I'm in the car. I listen to NPR. I listen to Voice of America. I listen to online, but NPR is very, very, very solid journalism. Great stories. Great, great
Do they
stories.
put do they put music or only news on that radio?
NPR has both actually. Yeah,
Okay.
so NPR has, for example, classical news. They have a lot of, or, I'm sorry, classical music. Very interesting news as well. For other types of stories. They have maybe like a cultural program. They have musical programs, and their news is very, very good. Very, very good. And the radio is what's really nice, right? So you can listen to the radio on NPR, and you can just keep it in the background, right? You don't even have to really watch, or you don't have to really, look at it because it's just the sound, right? But this is one of the really good programs on NPR is called All Things Considered. So this is the link, npr.org /programs /all things considered. All Things Considered is almost like a review. They focus on one thing. So they focus on the economy, right? And they talk about the economy. They invite very, very solid speakers, maybe a professor at Harvard or a doctor at, a very good hospital. And they talk about these different situations: healthcare, education, economy, society, politics, international affairs, lots of different things. So they do a very, very nice job. And all of those articles you can listen on NPR because National Public Radio, so they do radio programs and they also do articles online. So those are some great, great resources for you guys, right? This, for example, I think Marcelo, you might like this article. It's about Brazil, and they do some amazing journalism, right? So this show on NPR, it's asking, is Brazil ready to step on the world stage? Is Brazil ready for the World Cup, for the Olympics, for all of this fame, right? And they're investigating. They send people to Brazil. They talk to Brazilians, right? It's not like CNN where they'll show a 1 minute somebody speaking about Brazil. No, this is real journalism.
Great. I will take a look there after.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, guys. So we should get started, guys. Today we have a good class. We are talking about, the first thing we're going to be talking about is demonstratives and distributives, which I think you guys have a pretty good idea about, but we'll do a review of that. And then in the second part of the article, we will be looking at the concept of li-fi. Okay. Li-fi, yeah. So it's a new kind of Wi-Fi, right? And it uses light technology. And scientists are very excited that this new type of technology can really change how the world gets connected online. It could revolutionize the internet also, right? So we're going to be learning about that as well. So before we get started, guys, I wanted to ask you guys, for example, describe a few things that are maybe near you guys right now using demonstratives, right? So remember, demonstratives are the words like this, that, these, and those, right? These are the demonstrative pronouns. So this is pink, right? I'm not saying this highlighter is pink. I'm just saying this is pink, right? That is a great color, right? Whatever, right? So let's use this, that, these, those, any one of these words to make sentences about things that are around you right now. Julissa, you want to start?
That is a postal card.
Fantastic. That is a postal card. Let's do 2 more examples, Julissa. Let's do 3 for each of us.
Let me see. Those are shoes.
Those are shoes. Fantastic, right? So what's the difference? So if you say that is a postal card and those are shoes, are those near to you or are they far away from you?
No, they are far away.
Yeah, perfect, right? Because how would you use... Okay, so go on with your last sentence.
Yes, that and those is for far distance.
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic. You did a great job with that. But you still have one more sentence to make with another
Okay.
demonstrative. Yeah.
This is a cell phone.
This is a cell phone,
It
right?
is near.
Yeah, it's near you, right? So we use this and these for things that are near us, and that and those for things that are far away. So what's the difference between this and these then, Julissa?
This is, we use it for singular. This is a pencil. This, we use it for plural. These are colors.
Fantastic, fantastic, right? So we have two individual properties, or two things that we are looking at, two characteristics of these words, right? If it's singular or plural, that's number one. Number two, is it near me or is it far away from me, right? That's how we use these words. Fantastic. Marcelo, let's talk about three things using demonstratives. So let's make three sentences, just like Julissa did.
Those books are awesome.
These books are awesome. Okay, fantastic.
Those, I said. Those.
Oh, those books are awesome.
Those books. Those books are awesome. That ice cream is delicious.
Fantastic. Those books are awesome. That ice cream is delicious. And one last example.
Could I say this is my right to say what I think?
This is my right to say. This is my right to say what I think. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, if you say this is my right to say what I think, it works. But can you actually physically, for example, can you actually point to a right? A right is more of an idea, right?
Yeah,
a right is more of an idea. It's like an emotion or some kind of feeling of internal feeling, right? So it's actually better to say it is my right to say what I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
it is my right. Fantastic. That was a really good question, though. Really good question, right? It is my right to say what I think. It is my right to practice my own belief, right? It is my right to speak out against the government. It is my right to protest against unfair practices, right? Yeah, fantastic. So people say a lot. People use that a lot. It is my right. Great job with that, guys. So when we look at demonstrative pronouns, right, these are all the examples that we have used so far have been demonstrative pronouns, right? Pronouns don't need nouns, right? They can take the place of nouns. So that is delicious, or this is a book, right? This is blue, right? Those are mine, right? We're not saying what the noun is. But these same words, this, that, these, and those, they can also be used as demonstrative adjectives. And if they're demonstrative adjectives, then they need a noun with them, right? So if I say, for example, this cake is delicious, then in that example, this is a demonstrative adjective, right? Because we are saying this cake. So that's a demonstrative adjective plus a noun, right? But, so this cake is delicious, right? If I say this is delicious, then this is a demonstrative pronoun. I don't have a noun, right? So that is a demonstrative pronoun, and that's it, right? We don't worry about, there's no noun associated with this, right? This is delicious. This is beautiful. This is the best thing I've ever tasted. Right? So those are all examples of demonstrative pronouns.
But when you say, for instance, you must know that there is just one right way to go, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that I use that in the middle of the phrase.
You can,
So,
absolutely. It works. You must
okay.
know that. Would that be a demonstrative pronoun or a demonstrative adjective?
But I could say, but you must know there is just one right way. I can add that, or can I take off the that? Yeah?
You must know that there is just one way.
Yeah.
You must know.
You must know that there is just one right way to go, or you must know there is just one right way to go.
Mm-hmm. Very good question. You must know that there is just one right way to go. You can say it without that, or you can say it with that. It doesn't really matter in this case.
Yeah,
Marcelo.
okay.
You can say you must know there is just one right way to go, or you must know that there is just one way to go. You can say both of those. They
Okay.
work, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a great question. Julissa, could you give us an example of a sentence with a demonstrative adjective?
Yeah. This is a beautiful day. This is a beautiful day.
Uh-huh. This is a beautiful day, right? Well, is that a demonstrative adjective or a demonstrative pronoun, Julissa? Because if you say, this is a beautiful day, then beautiful day is in a completely different part of the sentence, right? This is still alone,
So
right?
it is a pronoun, right?
Yeah, if we can sense this is alone, it's technically a pronoun, right?
You
Is
Because
don't have.
alone?
yeah, because if you say, see the pronoun, demonstrative pronouns, they replace the noun's identity, right? They don't have, you can use the noun, you can look at the pronoun and understand about the noun, right? So if you say, for example, this is a rose, that this is a pronoun. If you say this flower is a rose, then that this becomes an adjective, demonstrative adjective, because it's describing flower, right? So when it's with another noun, it becomes an adjective. When it's just by itself, it's a pronoun, right? So that's really the difference here when we talk about the difference between demonstrative adjective and demonstrative pronoun. So Julissa, I think you know how to fix it. How do you fix it?
Yeah, okay. Then for a demonstrative adjective,
Uh-huh.
we can say this car this car bring me memories.
Fantastic. This car brings me memories. You can say brings me memories, but it's also very common to say, Julissa, this car brings back memories,
Okay, brings
right?
back.
This car brings back memories, right? So if you're talking about something that reminds you of something from your past, you can say this brings back memories,
I
right?
could say this car is mine.
Yeah, this car is mine. Fantastic. That also works, right? In that case, you're using a demonstrative adjective with a noun, and you're also using a possessive pronoun, right? This car is mine, right? So those are all good examples, right? All good examples. Possessive pronoun is mine because it comes after the noun, right? So the noun is car. This is the demonstrative adjective, and mine is the possessive pronoun, right? So that was a great example, combining 3 lessons actually in one, right? So this car brings back memories. You can also say, Julissa, for example, this photo brings back great memories, right? People take a look at their photographs or in their album, right? This brings back lots of great memories. Yeah, so it's a good phrase. Let's see, guys, what other types of examples do we have? So when we use distributives, okay, let's briefly talk about distributives. Distributives are used to talk about the individual pieces of a larger group, right? Distributives are used to talk about the individual pieces in a larger group. So we use phrases like each, every, either, and neither, right? These are the distributive pronouns, right? Distributive pronouns are each, every, either, neither, right?
And
You're
you
talking.
know our teacher. About
sorry.
nor. When I use nor.
Nor. It's a very good question, right? Nor is used when we use neither, right? So, for example, neither Marcelo nor Julissa are from Canada.
Neither.
Neither, and then the first person, so I can say Marcelo, neither Marcelo nor Julissa are from Canada, right?
Okay.
So none of you guys are from Canada. That's what I'm saying, right? It's another way of saying that nothing in a group. Okay, so before I get to that, right? Each and every, you can have as many people in the group as you want, right? Maybe you're talking to a huge group of people and you're saying each one of you has received $500 from whatever, right? From the government, let's say, right? Each person in Brazil has the right to vote. Okay? Brazil has a billion people.
Could I say, for instance, nor think to go there alone. Just nor think to go there alone.
Nor think to go there alone.
Yeah.
Well,
because it's very dangerous. So.
Well, are you saying it like this? Nor think like
to
that?
go there, yeah. Nor think to go there alone.
Nor think to go there alone.
Yeah. Because it's too dangerous there.
No, that doesn't work, Marcelo, because with nor we really need neither, right? Neither is very important with nor. You start a sentence with neither, and in the middle you use nor where you would normally use or.
Okay, but could I say neither think to go there alone?
No, you should use never.
Okay, never. Okay.
Yeah, nunca, right? Nunca.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Never think of going there alone, right? Or never think to go there alone, right? Because it's a dangerous area.
Yeah, right.
Right? Absolutely. So, yeah, neither and nor really go together, and the never, of course, is when you're talking about don't go somewhere, don't do something, right? But with each and every, right, we can be talking to a huge group of people. There's no limit to the number. Every one of you will get a prize from the government. Every one of you deserves to live freely, to live in a free country, whatever, right? But either and neither, we are only talking about two people.
Because I saw here an article here in Brazil. I don't remember where I see it. Where I saw it, I don't remember. It's yeah. It's only possible to walk in it of a car, nor to think in walk on food. Is it wrong?
Is it? Can you repeat the sentence one more time, Marcelo? It is.
Or copy it.
Yeah, could you copy it? Is it online?
Yeah,
that'd be great if you could copy it then. That'd be fantastic. Thanks, Lisa. That was a good idea.
I'm curious too about the use of nor.
Yeah, I know. It's a good question.
Neither.
Just a minute.
Sure, that's fine. Neither nor. Yeah, we use neither and nor usually Julissa together, right? Neither he nor she.
It's like ni, right, in Spanish?
Yeah. Exactamente. Absolutely. Neither he nor she. Absolutely. The ni in Spanish. Yep. That's really good. That's a direct translation. Neither
and
he
about
nor she.
Each, can you say each of? Or
yeah, each of you, cada uno de ustedes, right? Each one of you or each of you. Both of them work.
Okay.
Yeah. It's actually better to say each of you. I've heard each of you is more common. Each of you. But it's also 100% correct to say each one of you. You can say it both ways. For example, in Spanish they say cada uno de ustedes, right?
Sí, yes.
Yeah, cada uno.
Cada uno de ustedes.
Yeah, cada uno de ustedes van a recibir un premio de whatever, right? I mean, so every one of you will receive it.
$5,000.
De $5,000, sí, por favor. por favor, ahora mismo. Okay, it's only possible to walk in it of a car, nor to think in walking on foot. No, there are some problems with this sentence, Marcelo. It's only possible to walk in it of a car. I don't know what that means. Nor to think. You know what? It's better to say, Marcelo, this sentence would make sense if it's neither possible to walk, whatever, nor to think to walk of something, right? When we use nor, we really need neither, right? It's neither possible to walk nor to think to walk, something like that, right? We really need neither. I cannot think of any sentence that's in English where it starts with nor.
Or could I say, no, I couldn't say it's not possible to walk, nor to think to, no.
It's not possible to walk is fine. If you say it's not possible to walk, that's a completely fine sentence in English.
Okay.
Right?
Okay,
It's not
okay.
possible to walk here because the road is broken. Something, right? It's not possible to walk here because there is a lot of construction. There's a lot of crime. Never walk here, right? Or many kinds of other things like that, right?
So,
we can use other, yeah.
Summarizing, nor we have to use always after neither.
Every case that I can think of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, every case that I can think of. Neither he nor she, right? Neither Barack Obama nor I don't know, Ted Cruz
Okay, I got it.
are good politicians. Yeah, neither of them are good politicians, right? So we don't need to use nor every time we use neither. We don't need to use nor every time we use either or neither, right? Because we can say, no, I'm sorry, guys. We do need to use nor. Think of them as a group. Think of these two words as a group. Neither and nor act in a group, right? Really, they do act together in a group. Actually, trying to think. No, guys, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. This time I'll say it correctly. Whenever you see nor, you should also use neither. But you don't have to use nor every time you use neither. So neither
Can be alone.
neither can be alone. Exactly. Neither can be alone. Nor must always be with neither. Nor must always be with neither. Right?
Okay. Nor can't be alone.
Yeah, absolutely. Julissa, thank you for that. I was getting confused, right? Neither can be alone. So you can say neither of those guys will win, right? You're looking at two people in a race, right? Both of them are very weak racers. They're not going to win. You can say neither of those guys will win, right? Neither of those guys will win. But you have to say neither, for example, Claudio nor Roberto will win the race, right? Neither Claudio nor Roberto will win the race, right?
Okay.
So if you use nor, you have to use neither. I cannot think of any sentence, right?
Neither I nor you, neither you nor I. Nor.
Guys, I have just thought of another third example that defeated this rule, okay? So the first thing is correct. Neither can be alone, okay? However, it is possible to have nor with other words. Nor does not always need to be with neither. I'll give you guys an example. If you are making a negative statement about something, right? You should not drive to the favela at night, okay? Nor should you walk there alone. This is perfect, right? You don't have to use neither in every case of nor, but the sentence needs to be negative. The sentence needs to be saying something negative. You should not drive to the favela at night, nor should you walk there alone. So you're saying, don't drive to the favela at night, don't walk there alone.
So you can use nor alone.
You can use nor alone, but the sentence needs to have, the general idea of the
Negative.
sentence needs to be negative, right?
Yeah,
So
okay.
it should have something to do with saying no, that the sentence should say something about no. Neither, or you should not drive. You should not do something, nor should you do something else, right? Don't go. I see it with should a lot, guys, right? With should. You should
I
not do
found
this, nor should you do that. Yeah, I'm sorry, Julissa, go ahead.
I found an example with didn't. I will copy.
Yeah, that's great. I
I
don't
don't
work
work
here.
here, nor do I.
Yeah, good example, Julissa, right? So if two people are talking, right? I don't work here. Oh, nor, oh, honestly, Julissa, I have heard more commonly people say neither do I.
Yeah, me
Ah,
too.
yeah, this
Yeah.
sounds very.
Nor do I is a little bit different. Maybe it might be British. It might be British, but in US English, if I say something like, I don't like this, oh, neither do I. Okay? I don't want to go there, neither do I. Right? Me neither. A mí tampoco. Right?
Ah,
Neither do I, right? So that's why that works well, right? Maybe nor do I also works, but neither do I sounds a lot better. Yeah. But that's a great question, though. Fantastic questions, guys. And when you ask about the nor, yeah, nor can also be alone. And one example is if we say, for example, should, I don't work there. Oh, you should not drive there. You should not go there. Nor should you stay there. Nor should you hang out there. Whatever, things like that. Many
with a
times parents,
negative.
yeah, the general idea is negative, right? The general sentence, the idea of the sentence is negative. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Claudio, todo beleza?
Oh, hello, Farhan. Tudo beleza? I'm seeing now that Hangout Google changed look.
Yeah, they changed it, right? They changed the look.
They
Absolutely.
changed the look. I'm just seeing in this moment.
Yeah. And there were actually a lot of problems earlier today when people were trying to log on and they were unable to log on successfully. They've had some problems. But okay, guys, thank you for joining everyone. Claudio, you're just in time. We are going to be looking at an article about Li-Fi. Okay, so what is Li-Fi? Li-Fi is light internet. Okay, it is internet that doesn't use, fiber optic cables and all of that stuff that we have now. It uses light, right? And it is a very, very interesting article, guys. So here's the link. It's a BBC article. I'm going to also screen share here so we can take a look. Okay, so let's take a look at this. LED light bulb Li-Fi closer, say Chinese scientists. Wi-Fi connectivity from a light bulb, or Li-Fi, has come a step closer, according to Chinese scientists. A microchipped bulb, okay, so any bulb that gives light, right? A light bulb, a bulb for your lamp, anything, right? If it has a microchip inside, a microchipped bulb can produce data speeds of up to 150 megabits per second. Qi Nan, IT professor at Shanghai's Fudan University, told Xinhua News. A 1-watt LED light bulb would be enough to provide net connectivity to 4 computers, researchers say. But experts told the BBC more evidence was needed to back up the claim. There are no supporting video or photos showing the technology in action. Li-Fi, also known as visible light communications, VLC, at these speeds would be faster and cheaper than the average Chinese broadband connection. In 2011, Professor Harold Haas, an expert in optical wireless communications at the University of Edinburgh, demonstrated how an LED bulb equipped with signal processing technology could stream a high-definition video to a computer. He coined the term light fidelity, or Li-Fi, and set up a private company, Pure VLC, to exploit the technology. We're just as surprised as everyone else by this announcement, Pure VLC spokesman Nikola Serafimovsky told the BBC. But how valid this is, we don't know without seeing more evidence. We remain skeptical. This year, the Fraunhofer Heinrich Hertz Institute claimed that data rates of up to 1 gigabyte per second per LED light frequency were possible in laboratory conditions, making one bulb with 3 colors potentially capable of transmitting data at up to 3 gigabytes a second. This is like amazing stuff, right? Think of a normal light bulb, right? So look at these normal light bulbs. They're just hanging in a place in China, right? Just 1 watt, right? The average light bulb, for example, that's in my room right now, 60 watts, right? Just 1 watt, an LED light bulb can give the internet to 4 computers, right? And there are studies. So this guy, this English guy, he also tested, can you get a high definition video on the internet using just a light? And he was successful, right? What the Chinese guys are saying is a little bit more, people are a little suspicious, maybe they need more evidence, but they are thinking this is going to be amazing, right? So unlimited capacity. Li-Fi promises to be cheaper and more energy efficient than existing wireless radio systems, given the ubiquity of LED bulbs. Ubiquity means something that is always available, right? Something that is always available. If you want to use Li-Fi, you can use just normal light bulbs, right? You don't need a router, you don't need fancy internet stuff, right? So LED bulbs they're everywhere, and the fact that lighting infrastructure is already in place, right? People have light bulbs, people have lamps and other things, right? Visible light is part of the electromagnetic spectrum and 10,000 times bigger than the radio spectrum, affording potentially unlimited capacity, right? So there can be no limit to how many people can be online at one time if we use light as Wi-Fi, right? But there are drawbacks. If you block the light, then you block the signal, right? So if you are somehow maybe covering up the light in the light bulb or in the lamp or whatever, then you're going to block the signal, right? However, there is also a potential advantage from a security point of view. Light cannot penetrate walls as radio signals can, so drive-by hacking of wireless internet signals would be far more difficult, if not impossible. So right now, people can hack into networks, right? Because radio signals can go through walls, they can go through harder material, but light cannot go through a wall, for example. Right? So hacking would be more difficult if we had Li-Fi. Professor Chi's research team includes scientists from the Shanghai University Institute of Technical Physics at the Chinese Academy of Sciences, the report says. She admitted that the technology was still in its infancy and needed further developments in microchip design and optical communication controls before it could go to a mass market. Her team is hoping to show off sample Li-Fi kits at the China International Industry Fair in Shanghai on November 5th. So I think it's really cool, right, that they're thinking about using this technology for, light-enabled internet. I think that's phenomenal. Think about, all the parts of the world where they don't have the infrastructure for wireless internet or Wi-Fi, and if you have light, you can make internet from light now. What do you guys think about this? Julissa, what do you think?
I think it would be a great idea especially for the people who right now don't have access to the internet. That would be great. But I wonder about, there is a part that says that it would be less energy consuming, something like that.
Let's take a look at that part. Less energy.
Something with energy.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Cheaper and
more energy efficient.
More energy efficient.
Mm-hmm.
But if you need the bulbs to have access to connect to the internet, then during the day where you don't need lights on, you would be turning on your bulbs.
That is true, right? But maybe they're considering the fact that you need just one bulb can power 3 computers. So even if you have one bulb, 1 watt is very little power, right? For example, 1 watt is nothing, right? This light right here is 60 watts, right? And it's just for my desk. So maybe the 1 watt is not that much. But it's a good question, right? how do they measure energy efficiency? I have no idea. You know, they're saying it's going to be more efficient, but we don't know about that, right? But
So with one bulb of 1 watt,
with
one
1 watt,
watt,
yeah,
that can be used for 4 computers, something
for
like
4 computers, yeah, something like that.
that. Okay.
Yeah, at least that's what they're saying, right? People are a little skeptical. People are a little suspicious because these Chinese researchers, they haven't proved, they haven't shown a video of this technology yet. They just say this is very possible using some tests that they did, right? So maybe next Tuesday, this group is going to be presenting at this Shanghai China fair. Maybe then people will say, we'll be able to take a look for the first time and, you know, see if this is going to be a real possibility, right? But
To launch it.
yeah, it's going to be launched on Tuesday, right? So November 5th, they said. But I like the idea. I mean, especially because so many of places in the world now have electricity, right? They have light bulbs and electricity. Maybe all of those places can now get internet also. You know, it's going to open up a lot of different things. Marcelo, what do you think about the article?
Yeah. Let me think if I come up with an idea about this article.
Sure, absolutely.
I think that they to think ahead, you know, this kind of internet could be useless, but I think it's a way to a lot of people have access to the internet, but I don't know if it will work out one day.
Yeah.
You know, it's faster than the internet we have today.
That's what they're saying, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if it will be possible. You know, it's a little. It's just some ideas, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen it in action.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we haven't seen it in action. But you know, one thing about the article that I'm a little surprised about is they say if you block the light, then you block the signal.
Yeah, I
Right?
think it's awesome, interesting.
Yeah. So that way,
Or
maybe
what if there is a blackout?
exactly, right? We've read articles before, Julissa. I'm sure you remember about how
And
many,
you are doing your work.
and all of a sudden. But I mean,
Uh-huh.
how's that different from now? If there's a blackout now, you still don't have internet, right? Like in the common, I mean, right now also, if you have a blackout, you don't have internet. So
But really, no. But when it's wireless, do you need
yeah, because
electricity?
doesn't your router or modem also die if there's no electricity? Because, for example, the Wi-Fi thing is just it's a signal from a router, right?
Yes.
From a modem and a router, right? So maybe, but I mean, it's a good idea though, right? I mean, it's something that they should consider that, you know, maybe electricity is not the best option for a continuous internet source, right? Maybe they should go to something else. But it's interesting though. I mean, light is very unique, right? I mean, everywhere in people's homes they have lights. So maybe you can put one light bulb in the corner of your office, in the corner of your house, and it can power 4 things, right? 4 computers: your phone, your computer, your tablet, and one other thing, right? And you put another bulb here, and it powers 4 other things. So we're going to be living in a world of lights, Christmas lights, maybe. I mean, I'm just joking, not Christmas lights, but if you have a powerful bulb, maybe a 60-watt bulb, like this bulb right here is 60 watts, right? That could be 240 computers, right? Just in my little room, right? I think that's phenomenal. You know, the speed you would get with 240 times the speed I'm getting now, right? Or something. Maybe it doesn't work directly like that, but it would bring a lot of different people into the internet age. I think that's interesting, right? One other question for you guys, though. I think we only have 5 minutes left. Do you guys think what would you? How quickly do you guys think, if this catches on, Okay, in English we say if something catches on, meaning if something becomes popular, right? If something catches on, it becomes very popular. So if this catches on, right, how quickly do you think this will be accepted by the world? Like, think about how quickly in the last 5 to 10 years we went from a zero, you know, internet society, or a very, internet was there but not crazy, and now everybody has the computer and everybody has everything, right? How quickly do you think this will take to catch on to the rest of the world if it happens?
I don't know, maybe 50 years.
Maybe 50 years, maybe that long. Okay.
Yeah, it's in my point of view, it will happen in a long term.
In the long term.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they have to make a lot of searches. Yeah, searches.
Research. They have to do a lot of research, actually.
Yeah, and some research that we know that doesn't work.
Yeah, right.
So they have to start over again and again and again and again.
Exactly, and they're at the tip of the iceberg, I think, right, Marcelo?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely, right? They're at the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more research that they need. Maybe they need to do more trials with this kind of technology. But I mean, Julissa, how many people would you say across the world have electricity access? Do you think most people, even in the villages, for example, in the rural areas, do you think they have electricity in places like Africa, India?
No, I think in some small villages or communities they don't have electricity yet. They need to use some batteries to at least
Mm-hmm.
could hear the radio or something.
Mm-hmm.
But as you said, since these bulbs are there, they consume very few. They need only 1 watt.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this would make it easier for them to catch the connection.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't think in the villages or communities people could have a computer. If we see the reality, uh,
Mm-hmm. Is
yeah.
is access limited by cost, or is it limited by other things?
Well, where in some places where I have been, it's because of it doesn't arrive the cables for electricity or the infrastructure. It doesn't arrive to those places yet.
Wow, so that's actually very surprising because, I mean, most of the world is connected, I would imagine, right? Or, I mean, maybe this is probably a very rural place, right? Like maybe in the jungle, in the mountain
Yes.
area. Yeah, because I would expect at least most places, even for example, I know in India, the villages also they have electricity now, most of them. Some of the very small ones don't, but most of them do, I think. Um, Yeah, but it's crazy. I wonder if maybe, I mean, Chinese scientists are working on this. There's the British guy, he's working on it also. So maybe they'll get some good ideas. I'm interested to see how it helps the really poor people get access to the internet. If not the parents, at least the children. I want to see what the children can do with the internet.
Yeah, it could
Right.
be useful for their studies.
Yeah, and also for like education also, exactly. So the studies as well, and they could maybe join Colingo classes and help out, and do all sorts of things, right? Colingo still is, I think, only available to a lot of, people who live in the cities. Not too many people in the villages so far. Yeah. Well, guys, it's essentially the end of class, but I wanted to know if you guys had any questions about Li-Fi, about neither nor, demonstratives, distributives, any of those other things we talked about.
The next class I will have a question.
Oh, okay, dokie, fantastic, fantastic. No, that's great. That's good to know. I have my classes again, guys, tomorrow morning. every single day, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours at night. It was great. Are you guys sure there's no other questions?
No question,
No,
teacher.
I will see you hopefully in December. This is my last class.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, November will be very busy for me, so
Uh-huh.
I will leave Colingo for a month, maybe, and maybe in December I'll be back.
Awesome. Well, have a great November then, Julissa.
I
Thank
hope to
you.
see you
Yeah.
Sure,
soon.
I'll be watching you from time to time.
Okay.
Awesome,
Okay.
awesome,
And
fantastic.
Farhan, please, if you see Liliana and the other guys, tell them my greetings.
Sure, awesome, Julissa. Thank you so much. Thanks for making it to this last class.
Bye, teachers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take care, Marcelo. Everyone, take care,
Take
Julissa.
care. Thank
See
you.
you. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye-bye, guys. Take care. And it's a form of Wi-Fi if it becomes appropriate to, um, implement in every part of the world, then we can literally end up with a 100% connected world using the internet. So you know how Wi-Fi, sometimes the signal is good, the signal is bad, the connection is weak, the connection is strong, right?
Yeah.
Li-Fi will eliminate all of those things. So it's something that scientists are very excited about the future of Li-Fi possibly. Yeah, I don't want to ruin the surprise just yet, but it's similar to
Okay.
Wi-Fi. Yeah, I know. It's similar to Wi-Fi, and it's going to be changing a lot of different things
And
about
the
the world.
name, why did they choose Lai?
Because it comes from light.
Ah, okay,
Yeah, so
okay.
light-fi becomes Li-Fi, right? So we're going to see about it a little bit. Marcelo,
Okay.
welcome back.
Let me hear again.
Yeah, good, good,
Thank you.
good. Yep, I can hear you, man. No problems. So yeah, we were just talking. Julissa and I were just talking about cats, Marcelo.
Ah, the class is about class again?
No, 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 no. We're still talking from the last class. Just still thinking
Uh,
about cats. I don't know.
okay, okay. It's a funny class. It was a funny class. I really liked it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I like to every once in a while. I like to put in a funny class
And
too.
I noticed, I realized that each class we had here in on Colingo, we learn more.
That's awesome,
Each,
though.
just, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's the idea. Sometimes some of the classes are a little bit more, boring because maybe the topic is not as interesting or the articles just are not that interesting. But
Yeah, because you don't know many things about the article, so it's get difficult for us when you don't when you we don't know anything about the article.
absolutely, absolutely. So it's one of those things that every once in a while we get a good one and we have fun with those articles. But it's good. I was very surprised to see all the kind of attention that these YouTube celebrities are getting. Talking about um, I'm talking about what we talked about today earlier, Marcelo, with Porta los Fundos, and there's another channel called uh, Parafernalia. Have you heard of Parafernalia?
No, I will,
Parafernalia is very funny, very very funny
I will
also.
take a look after.
Yeah, yeah. I can send you one of their videos too because they make fun of society and hey, Lisa, welcome back.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. It's going great. It's going great. Awesome, awesome. How's it going? Great, fantastic. It's going great. Just recovering from the last class. That was actually a very fun class. I'm still thinking about cats.
Yeah, it was interesting, funny, and a bit sad.
I know. How it's really sad how desperate people are, right? They would harm animals. They would maybe put animals in danger, right?
Yeah, and the imagination that people have for doing negative things. I mean, if they would use that imagination for something positive, great.
hmm
But
Well, maybe that's a good idea, Julissa, because this class we are going to be talking about something that is really amazing, and people are definitely using their energy for something positive uh, in this class as well, what that we'll be talking about. So I don't want to ruin the surprise just yet, but when we talk about Wi-Fi, we talk about internet that is connecting, the whole world. There is a new idea of Li-Fi, which is,
Life.
yeah, and it's going to be very interesting. So that's the name of the class, The Arrival of Li-Fi. They do such a good job. They don't use, bad language. They don't use, rude topics. They're just making social commentary, right? Talking about society. So um, so many similarities. It's awesome. Here, I'm sure you guys have heard about a program called The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, right? Have you guys heard of The Daily Show? It's very, very popular. It happens every night, every weekday night, so at 11 o'clock. So it's starting right now in New York City. There's a guy named Jon Stewart. He's a comedian, and more Americans watch him than they watch the news, than they watch CNN or these other news channels. And he does an extremely good job of taking the news that we have that we watch or that we learn about in our daily lives, what's happening in society, what's happening internationally. He takes all of those news points and he presents them in a very funny way.
The worst thing to watch CNN or BBC, because they just show bad things, So you got down. I really don't like to spend my time watching CNN or BBC or even the programas that you have here in Brazil, no?
Yeah. No, CNN really, I don't like watching it either. I mean, it's really just, I mean, they don't bring news that I find interesting. They find news stories from many different sources, but a lot of it is just hip hop and pop culture and movies and music. I mean, little things like, I don't know, like some story about Kim Kardashian or Paris Hilton or, one of those clowns that, every day they're getting married, getting divorced, getting married again.
Yeah.
Just I don't like that kind of news. I like documentary type news
Yeah, I
where
like it.
yeah,
Documentary.
yeah. But I mean, they have other channels like that for us too. I guess CNN. It's not really CNN's fault, but so much of the focus is on celebrities. I don't like celebrities. Why is the news about celebrities? The news should be about the world, right? I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. That's what's
But
funny. Yeah,
I
go ahead,
guess
Julissa.
talking about celebrity makes them sell more, to have more people watching them, more rating.
Yeah, it gives them higher ratings, right? Absolutely. For people are